Welcome back to another season, guys. We are heading up to a food source right now. Give you guys a little look. We did a little trial this year. Planted the bottoms super early and planted the top super late. Or not really super late, honestly, what the bag requires. So if you were to go by your seed dates on your bag for probably most of your blends, here in the Midwest, central part of Illinois, it would probably have you planting late July, early August, sometimes even mid-August. And I'll show you what it looks like when you do that. And you've been dealing with severe drought for a couple of years, so take a look at this. Alright, so here we are. Everything has germinated, which is good. I'm not overly concerned with doing this trial this year, even though I knew for sure that I, should be planting radish, turnips, sorghum, clover, most of my seeds, about the end of June, first week of July. That's the way to go. So as you can see, really dry in here. Everything's stunted. Haven't had rain in a month. But I'm not overly concerned because I just came back through today with oats and winter rye and wheat. And this radish that you see right here, it will take off as soon as we get some rain. It's out of the ground, so not the end of the world to run a trial like this, just to show you guys. We are going to head down to the bottom food plot, and we'll show you what happens when you do the complete opposite. You plant everything at the end of June. But that being said, this still will wind up being a really good food source this fall. We just need to get some rainfall. This rye will be out of the ground in no time. Beginning of September right now, guys. And next up for us is Kentucky. So we're heading to Kentucky tomorrow morning. This officially starts our bow season for us, so super excited. We'll be cranking out some Hunt for the Harvest episodes. Really looking forward to it. We're just wrapping up things on the farm, and then we'll be staying out of here until probably maybe 10th, 11th of October, somewhere in there. Let this place just, lay low, keep the scent off the farm, let the mature bucks start shifting their home range, and we'll get in there when the time's right. But for today, we're going to tidy up some stands, finish the last few bow hangers I need to get hooked up, throw some cameras up, check these fall plots, overseed, and just make sure shooting lanes and stuff are good to go. So that's the plan for today. Thanks for tuning in. Alright guys, it's getting late. We have been cranking and cranking. Got all of our oats sowed down here. Just finished up with the winter rye, so did another overseeding of that. Sorghum starting to seed head out. Radish looks unbelievable. Clover, turnips, food plots really coming together. So give you guys a little look at planting a little bit earlier. Again, no rain down here in over a month as well. So show you the difference between getting seed in the ground a little bit early, timing it with some timely rains, and not worrying too much about it maturing too quickly during these dry spells we've had. It's been pretty consistent. We're at the third year in a row now, so you can pretty much count on it's going to be dry. Next year, you never know. Could be a little bit wetter, but until then, we're just going to keep planting early. So let's take a little look. Alright guys, so here we go. As you can see, look at that thatch layer. Sorghum, radish, clover, turnips, oats, winter rye. We are giving them a little bit of everything. Not much for weeds in here. Really thick. And on top of that, check this out. When you've got ground cover year round, let's go stand like somewhere here in the middle. This gets a lot of sun through here. So no rain in a month, guys, and look at this. So if I dig down underneath there, plenty of moisture. Pretty crazy. And look at that. Got some earthworms in there. Haven't tilled this in 6 years. A little bit of herbicide. I know I don't feel too good about that, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Not the end of the world. Get down a little, I have to say it every once in a while, just to contain the weeds and get this thing established. Once, obviously, the remainder of these dead trees are knocked down. This tree here has been double girdled, but there's still some leaves hanging on. So once we get rid of all that, we get full sunlight in here. We get a really good rotation going on. I don't think we're gonna have to use much herbicide. I'd say maybe another year or two while we're building soil and getting lime and fertilizer in here. And we'll take one last soil test, and I'd assume here soon we should be good to go. Should be able to just come in here and roll our rye and terminate everything and come back through with our fall seed. I'm pretty dang impressed though for no rain. This looks amazing. And we just put down another 100 pounds of oats and rye. So let's walk down here where the blind's at. Show you what it looks like. It is thick. Once we lose all that vegetation come mid to late October, this is gonna be lush. Especially if we can get some early fall rains. We should be in good shape. Alright guys, so the other day we were talking about those two food sources, tidying up some stands, and just getting the last bit of prep work done. We're going to walk back down to this creek bottom here in a minute, show you how dry it is down there. This is definitely year number 3 of drought, so it sucks, but I'm not smelling or finding any dead deer. It's always positive. I don't think we're getting hit with the HD this year, so that's good. We're going to head down here. We're going to trim out some shooting lanes with our little handsaw. And we're going to head up top. And I got one tree. We tidied up, put some hangers in and stuff. But I didn't have my saw with me that day. And there was a lot of just shooting lanes that really needed cleaned up. So, hate doing it this late in the season. We're already into the, beginning to middle part of September. But let's get this done now. And we won't be back in here until probably the 15th of October, so plenty of time for this place to settle down. We'll be heading back to Kentucky. We already did a 3-day trip out there and had a really good encounter with the velvet bucks. I actually almost had a shot, so looking pretty promising. So start doing some more scouting out there, and we'll be back there in the next week or so. Finish out our early season hunts in Kentucky before we transition back to Illinois. It's gonna be a good season, guys. I'm excited. Where I'm standing at right now, we've actually got a 4-wheeler trail through here. That shows you how sad this is. This is usually underwater. When you get down to the creek where I'm standing, it's usually right where it starts, about right here. And it's a little over knee high. I just go with the extended wader boots. Ones that go just above your knee, and I can get through here no problem. But that's what we're down to. A little piddle. Dang, it's dry, but fingers crossed. I'm not smelling any dead deer yet, so we should be good to go. One thing I will mention, guys, on years like this, I don't see deer necessarily drinking a lot in these creeks when they're flowing like really good. That's why I still put watering holes out. And we got a pond on this farm. Kind of a crappy little timber pond, but it's the best for deer hunting. Those bucks and does love going in there to get a drink. So one thing I've noticed is the stagnant water is the way to go. So when you do get a drought like this, like that little section up there, it'll get to where it's not flowing anymore. It kind of gets mucky. Those are spots to hang a stand. Little tip for you guys: you got creeks that flow well. If it is dry, it is a little trick you can use, is utilizing those little holes that still have some standing water in them. So they'll go through there drinking that thing all the way into rut and on past it. Alright guys, we're going to head up to that ridge top, but first things first, I need to get a camera down here. This is where we're going to throw a stand up here. Probably either tomorrow or the next day, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. So with this creek being dry for the last few years, this all used to be underwater. And it's turned to a jungle. Bunch of sycamore and stuff grown in here, shrubs, flowers. A lot of trees in here. So this has become a really, really good travel system for them through here. Some good bedding cover. Obviously, tracks galore down here. And this is what I'm talking about. The creek's usually flowing and going right on through there. Dried up enough that this is stagnant. So this little water hole right here is no longer flowing. It's isolated itself, created a little island in here. It goes to right down there on that corner. And there's some really thick bedding, a lot of elevation change up through there. A lot of bucks bed up on that ridge top. They got a little trail system they work down, come down across this creek. They can do a big old loop, especially if they're utilizing the wind. They can come down here and hook back around and walk this whole creek down. And there's a food plot down there in the corner, and the north wind's blowing this direction. So if those bucks are walking this creek with that wind blowing that way, they'll just keep on circling around that food source and then come back in it later in the evening. I see that all the time. So what we're going to do, get our trail camera right here, overlooking this little crossing here, and then we're going to come back with our lone wolf. And I don't know. I don't really want to get in these sycamores here because I don't want to be exposed too much. Be a really good shot opportunity. But I'm thinking find something right up in here. Maybe this tree right here with this split. I'll get right up in that split there. The yardage, it's only going to be a few yards difference between here, but I'm going to have all this security cover from the honeysuckle and stuff. And it's just a CRP field out there, so I'll be able to walk that edge, slip right in here. I'll never have to go in the timber. Won't have to disturb any of this cover down here. And with that north wind blowing down this way, even if these bucks are bedded down in here or up on the ridge or anything like that, my wind's just barely going to be snaking by, as long as there's no westerly. If we start getting west in it, we might blow this thing up. But we're just hunting north. And, you always gotta give them something. So I try to play as risky as I can on that edge, because I know if that wind is cutting north across there, them deer are going to come down here, especially in the evenings, and they're going to travel this system that takes them all the way down to another bottom CRP field, and then there's a bunch of agriculture and stuff down there as well. So pretty kick-ass setup here. So we'll bring our stand tomorrow, get it hung up there, overlook this crossing. That'd be about 26, 27 yard shot probably, anywhere through here. I know that they're more likely going to use this security cover here and then open up right in this opening here, and it's a lot of shade and they can run that bank. So more than likely that's how they're going to travel. But even if they decide they want to come up this way, go for it. Give me an even better shot. Pretty sweet. Alright guys, we're almost up there. Taking a little breather. It's like 100. A lot of elevation. One of the coolest parts of this farm, but at the same time it's one of the biggest pain in the ass things having to deal with. It's just getting places. It's all pretty much straight uphill. Oh boy. White oaks, black oaks, dropping like crazy in this area. You can just hear them raining. But we're about there, about halfway up. Get to the top. Trim out them shooting lanes. Tidy up that mock scrape. I threw a vine up there, but it looked like it was hanging on by a thread. Might be getting ready to fall off, so we'll throw a zip tie on that. And hopefully that'll wind up being a primary scrape. They did a lot of scraping and rubbing right in that spot last year, so thought it'd be a good one to throw a vine in. It's only about 18 yards from the deer stand. So should be a good spot. It's awesome. Other than the heat, it's a nice day out. Thanks for tuning in on another episode, guys. We appreciate it. We are now rolling into October. It's go time. So farm projects are all wrapped up. We made a trip out to Kentucky already in September. We'll be heading back out there probably here in the next week or so. We'll be hunting here in our home state, Illinois. And despite the drought, I feel like things are shaping up pretty good this season. We got a cold front tomorrow. Probably get out for an evening sit. And we're just going to be moving cameras around, doing some scouting. We got some stands to move around and still to hang. But we're going to wait until we get the intel we need before we hang up any of our mobile sets. And that's kind of going to be it. So thanks for tuning in on another season of Hunt for the Harvest, guys. And we'll be cranking out episodes here, hopefully probably about every week or every other week, depending on movement and sightings and things like that. So stay tuned.